Healthy Scratch Red Wings Report, presented by 5v5hockey.com.
Welcome back to the Healthy Scratch Red Wings Report. Today, we're going to continue our 2022-2023 player profiles, where we go through every player's regular season statistics, their advanced stats, their contract situation, and where they fit going forward. Defenseman Olli Maatta signed a 2-year extension, $3 million a year right during the season, and rightly so. Olli Maatta had a pretty good year as a kind of a second pair D-man, and I think looking at some of his stats, you're going to realize that this might be a guy that could be kind of like veteran guy on defense that's just going to be steady, good in the locker room. His stats this year, he had 78 games played, so almost every game, 6 goals, 17 assists, 23 points, -9, 14 penalty minutes. He had a 9% shooting percentage, and he played 18 minutes and 42 seconds a night. We switch over to his advanced stats. His projected wins above replacement percentage is 45 percentile. So like in the middle, average. He's not going to stand out. He's not going to be brutal. He's not going to be amazing. Even strength offense, I'm not really worried about that because he's not an offensive defenseman. Even strength defense, 67 percentile. So he very, very good. Not elite, but better than good. 67 percentile is something where you want to see that with Olli Maatta. Not a power play guy. Penalty kill, very, very good. This is actually teetering on that elite penalty kill. So maybe, we just talked about Pius Suter a few days ago. Maybe Olli Maatta was on the same unit. I would have to go and check that out because that would make sense. Because I think Suter was up around like 90 percentile. We got Olli Maatta at 83. So finishing, not too worried about that. Goals and assists, not worried about that. So with Olli Maatta, I think a $3 million contract for the next few years is definitely a good value. What he brings to this team, obviously playing on the left side D, is just a steady defensive defenseman that once in a while can chip in offensively. You've seen flares of it. Like when Olli Maatta came into the league, I think with the Penguins, he was touted as like an offensive defenseman, and it just never really panned out specifically that way for him, which is okay. It happens to players where you come in, you're this type of player. It doesn't really work out. Maybe you're not a scorer. You have to reinvent yourself and go a different way. And I think Olli Maatta has done a very, very good job of becoming more of this stay-at-home defenseman that's just going to be solid. I've always said the best defensemen, you usually don't notice them, especially a second or third pair guy. You don't want them to stand out. We're going to talk about Ben Chiarot in our next video. And he definitely stood out for a lot of the wrong reasons. But Olli Maatta was someone that going through the roster, it was one of those like, oh yeah, he's on this team. He's pretty good, So I would shock myself to go like, I forgot he was even here, but he's just solidly in the background. Now going forward, he's here for the next few years, $3 million. The problem with the Red Wings is that they're kind of getting a little bit of a logjam on left defense. And we know we've had that problem for a long, long time in Detroit. Obviously finding Mo Seider, amazing because he's a right-handed shot. He's our number one guy. They have a few holes to fill on that right side. Now, Ben Chiarot did play on the right side a little bit, sometimes on the left side. I really don't think it matters with Ben Chiarot because I think he stinks. So put him on the left, put him on the right, put him on the bench. I don't think it's going to matter unless you put him on the bench. Olli Maatta, I think when Edvinsson becomes the defenseman we all want him to be, Olli Maatta is going to be an amazing third pair defenseman for the Red Wings. You can see what Yzerman's building here. You can see that he's keeping around guys that he took a chance on that went, hey, he fits the locker room. He fits the mold of what we're trying to do here. He's not going to rock the boat. He's not going to do anything fancy. He's going to do exactly what we need him to do. That's what you need to win championships. And I think given the depth of the defensemen that are coming up with the Red Wings, that even as a 28 to 30-year-old, he's going to fit right in.